So a while back, there was this one YouTuber, which I don't remember the name because I don't know what video he commented on, that was basically saying, hey, this video sucks, and I'm going to make a video explaining why it sucks. And I'm like, all right. I mean, I can't impress everybody. So I was like, okay, what video are you doing? And it is one of those videos. You know, with the...
It was one of those videos.
I really, really wish 2017 me didn't exist because that was mega cringe. And of course, somehow, he never finished it. I mean, he had a complete script and overall, it was quite the clever one. Hey guys, what do you get when Logan Paul has sex with a dolphin? You get a crappy top 9 useless weapons in TF2 list. It's kind of a shame he never got to finish this because I would have laughed my butt off. Not only because it would have been funny, but also it would have been right. That was one of the worst videos I ever made. And if he ain't gonna review it, then who would be better off to review such a terrible video than the creator itself 2 years later? So without further ado, let's dive right deep into this toxic waste dump of a TF2 video. The top 9 useless TF2 weapons.
Probably one of my favorite things about this game is its amazing arsenal of weaponry. It's some of the most creative weapons I have ever seen in an FPS.
And I still stand by this today. TF2's weapon arsenal is probably one of the most unique and diverse in any game. I mean, sure, there's a lot of games like CSGO and Call of Duty that have a bunch of different weapon sort of categories, but a lot of the weapons in TF2 are just quite creative. Yes, I know I should supposed to be blasting myself right now, but hey, I had some cleverness in that edgy 16-year-old vibes I had.
Well, along with those really creative and very effective weapons, come those unlocks that, you know, are just heaps of metal filth. Either A, their downsides are way too much for a very weak and measly upside.
Okay, 2 things really just stand out for me from this. First things first, I'm saying A, B, and C, but on the screen I have 1, 2, and 3. I mean, you couldn't even stay consistent! And 2, you might notice this, but I'm going to be saying a lot of that weak and measly. I like saying that because I was way too repetitive and couldn't think of anything else clever. Yeah, that's sort of what I was like.
First up, we take a look at the Scout, and if it wasn't for me talking about that, I'm also going to be including the balance changes from that blog post, the Pretty Boy's pocket pistol would have definitely taken this spot.
If you look carefully, you might realize that I sucked at Scout back then, and I called it my main.
So however, now that that's going to be at the very least a little bit more viable, the Rap Assassin is the new spotlight thing. I can't think of anything.
Alright, the Rap Assassin was useless to me back then. Okay, I can honestly say that this was a very poor choice. Because, well, it wasn't useless. It was still good. It's just I was too close-minded and thought the Flying Guillotine was better. And the Boston Basher was better. Just, man, this is just painful to look at.
You're a ball that does bleed damage. It's not that useless. You know what else does bleed damage?
My mom!
What if I throw in a my mom joke in this video? Wouldn't that make me so funny?
Okay, but seriously, you know what else does better bleed damage than the Rap Assassin? The Boston Basher. Oh, but wait, what if you can't aim it properly? The Flying Guillotine.
In other words, I was basically trashing on the Rap Assassin because there were better alternatives back then. Nowadays, I actually kind of think of the Rap Assassin as one of the better weapons in the game. I like the Rap Assassin now. I love that thing.
It was a pretty interesting secondary for the soldier that allows to hit people more than once with your projectile, which was crazy. And with the Kritzkrieg, very awesome, just destroying through enemy territory. However, in Meet Your Match, this thing got nerfed for no reason. It wasn't even that good to begin with.
What? Okay, so let me get this straight. I just went to go on a long rant of how saying, oh, back in the day, the Righteous Bison was such a good weapon. Turn around and say, this wasn't even that good of a weapon. Like, was I, like, messed up in the head or something? I don't know.
It is not worth the whopping $7.50 to get it on your own in the Manco store. I highly recommend if you want this weapon so bad, just look it up on the Steam market. They're probably the cheapest things in the world.
Gee, Savvy. Gee, if only there was another place you can buy weapons for cheap prices. Gee, I wonder if that place exists. Man, one man can dream. Or wait, no, one dolphin can dream.
Yeah, but let's not forget that health kits drop every time you kill somebody. So really, if you're on fire, there's health kits littered all over the place, like Walmart, McDonald's, in every single town in America.
My absolute favorite part of watching this is you could tell I was trying to be so unique and intelligent with my dialogue to sound like a Ray 7 with all these, like all these analogies that are probably so stupid now. Like, really? Walmart and McDonald's. Yes, what a fantastic analogy.
To kill them. You know what else does that? Every other demo melee!
Gee, isn't it so funny when you go to the other side of the room and then you scream to make it sound like you're funny?
So really, the Caber, while it's an interesting idea on taking out huge, big crowds, use the primary grenade launcher, sticky bomb launcher.
You did it again! You're saying, oh, it's great for this. Oh, no, it's not. It's still bad.
Its upsides are pretty straight. A 30% damage bonus and 50 health restored on kill. That's fantastic, right? Well, if you're gonna be that close up to an enemy at melee range to begin with, just use your minigun. I mean, that thing can shred anybody in just seconds.
Okay, can you basically say that with every single other damage melee that's bad? Yes, that's a horrible analogy. Hey, why would you use the bat when you would use the scattergun? Or why would you use the fire axe if you can use the flamethrower? Come on. Be smarter.
Wearer. Not while active, on wearer. It turns the huge wall that nobody can destroy to a piece of bread floating in the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh, trying to sound so smart, and I wasn't smart. Oh, I was trying to sound smart, but I wasn't smart. Oh, I was horrible at that time, and I still kind of am, but still I wasn't as bad as I was in this video. Boop, boop.
And as you can see in this footage, I did horrible. The 30% damage vulnerability really screwed me up.
Or maybe think about this. You suck! Okay, the engineer segment wasn't too bad. It could have been a whole lot better, but really, I was kind of brainstorming about this one. I remember this. Because this was back when, I don't remember what, it was like, it was hard for me to think of a useless weapon, but if I really had to choose, I'd probably do the Thompson. Probably because that's really the only bad engineer weapon to me today. The Eric effect is actually kind of good. Who knows?
However, I did end up narrowing it down to the overdose. The main reason being, its upside's fairly pointless.
Okay, there was another YouTuber that kind of commented on that video, basically having a pretty reasonable point for the overdose. It's because just in case your entire team gets wiped and you're all by yourself, it's just a quick escape away, which, come to think of it, while it is extremely situational and the chances of you getting out is going to be highly unlikely, it's still a good thing to have. I still think the overdose is kind of bad, but hey, at least it's got some benefits.
In fact, if you have a full Uber, don't waste it by using it as a speed boost crutch. Use it to help out your team.
Sammy, what do you think you're doing? Yeah, it looks like you're using the overdose as a speed boost crutch. And not using it to help out your team. You are a hypocrite! A literal hypocrite! Okay, I watched the sniper segment like 6 times and I literally couldn't think of anything clever to sort of talk about. The only thing is, I was kind of stupid. Trying to compare the Classic and the Huntsman, while it is a pretty reasonable, balance, there are some points where the Classic does have some purpose. I mean, it's a really, really tiny niche, tiny little teeny tiny microscopic purpose, but it's still there. There is still a purpose.
In my opinion, my least favorite and most useless weapon, in my opinion, is the Band-Aid Switchblade, the Big Earner. While it's something interesting to look at, is just a complete downgrade to stock. Not to mention 100 damage, you get one shot by a lot.
Alright, okay. Time out. You're gonna say the big earner is useless. Because, oh, it's so hard to die. Yeah. Well, maybe, just think about this. Maybe, just maybe, you're a bad spy. You have no game sense. Okay, this is another example of me making a poor choice because, well, I died to this all the time, so it's a bad weapon. No, the big earner is actually quite a good weapon. It's just one of those, I don't want to use it because it's really risky kind of deals. It is a good weapon, though. I still hate to use this weapon today because, well, I don't play much spy, and most of the time I just don't feel like using it. But the big earner isn't useless. Stop saying it's useless. You're bad. But anyways, that was basically everything he was going to sort of talk about. But overall, this was just a really bad video, and I think his closing sort of speech kind of thing sort of explains it up pretty well. Look, Savage, this video is basically a copy-paste of every other top 9 worst TF2 left. You ignore strategy, drag the list out, and sometimes you even see you have no freaking clue how to play TF2 or what useless means. Yes! I think you might have understood the obvious there. I had less than 1,000 hours in the game at the time, and I hadn't even played the game for a year. Oh my gosh! Thanks for pointing out such an obvious thing that we all knew from the first frame of the video. My advice, don't blindly follow the big TF2 YouTubers that will get you nowhere. Yeah, I think that's kind of a thing every single TF2 player should do. Just because Soundsmith says this weapon's good and Rob the Awesome says this weapon's bad isn't the set stone rules. And I have to admit, that was kind of the thing I was going with at the time of this video. A lot of the things I sort of based my references off are things like Array 7 and Muse Elk. Yeah. In the final conclusion, this was a terrible video, and I wish I never made it. As a matter of fact, when I finally get my time machine out, I'm going to go back to 2017, find me sitting right in front of my computer editing this in Movie Maker, turn myself around, and slap myself in the face, telling me, stop it. Stop it. That's a bad video. But anyways, I guess that's all said and done now. I finally blew all this off my chest, and me basically being shamed for such a horrible thing by shaming myself, because there's no shame in shaming yourself, am I right? Alright, anyways, you guys, this is Savage, the dolphin thing, and yeah, I finally uploaded a real video. Expect more of this in the future. Bye! I need an intro, and I need an extra. I haven't got that far yet, because I haven't been on TF2 in a while, and I need some more stuff that makes me more professional, and I'm almost at 1,000 subs too. Hopefully I can make it, so people can think I'm good. I'm getting better, and I got some new hardware, so my computer is a little bit better, and my footage is being a little bit better, as you might notice in this video, but bye!